Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks to all of you here today and to the men and women who serve under your command and all you do to help protect us. Last year I expressed some reluctance regarding the Syria Train and Equip program based on concerns that any lethal assistance that we may provide might end up inadvertently or in some cases perhaps purposely end up in the hands of some of the very extremists that we're attempting to fight against. And that could possibly fuel further violence in the region. Well, I believe that the service members who are under your command, who are in the process of executing this program, are the most skilled in the world at what they do. And that's really what gives this program the very best chance of success. The losses of U.S.-provided equipment by the Iraqi security forces last year and in Yemen this year are stark lessons that the fluid and volatile nature of the Middle East can compromise even our best-laid plans. I'm further concerned that for this program to have the best chance of success, the United States will need to become more militarily involved in this conflict than many Americans may realize. Secretary Carter stated recently, when referring to the forces that we train and equip in Syria, that, quote, "we will have some obligation to support them after they're trained," close quote. Yet, we don't know what that support would look like, nor do we know at this point what the costs associated with that would look like. This program, as part of the administration's strategy to address the ISIS threat, should be fully and openly debated in this body so that the American people might have a say in how their military forces are used. General Austin, since this program was conceptualized, it was reasonable to expect a situation in which Syrian rebels we armed might face a larger or better equipped army, larger or better equipped enemy. Why was the decision made to start the Train and Equip program? Why was that decision made before determining whether the United States would provide further protection or support for the groups once they were trained and equipped and returned to Syria?
It was made because we will need an element on the ground to complement the work that we're doing with our fires to begin to counter ISIL in Syria. And you know, my best military advice as we go forward is that as we introduce forces that we've trained and equipped, then we should provide them support. We should not only look to provide them fires, we should provide them logistics, we should provide them intel support as well. So I think that gives them the best opportunity for success.
So do you think that, that Assad's forces in Syria will attempt to attack some of these opposition members that we've trained and equipped? And if so, what level of military involvement should we expect from American forces?
I think there's a likelihood that can happen. We'll try to initially, as we put forces in and begin to build combat power, we'll put them in those positions where they are focused on ISIL. That's the first task at hand. And then again, if they are attacked, then I think we should protect them.
What do we do if the forces that we train and equip end up attacking Assad's forces?
Well, initially, that's not what we're focused on. So we will discontinue providing support to those forces if they vector off and do things that we haven't designed them to do initially and asked them to focus on initially.
Do you think that the success of the opposition groups that we're training and equipping, that we're supporting, you think that'll require a new governing structure in Damascus? And if so, would the U.S. military be involved in helping to facilitate that change?
I think eventually forces will need to plug into some type of structure for sure.
Yeah.
And again, that's not what the military typically does. But again, this is a whole of government approach here. So,
okay. Thank you, General Austin. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
General,